well may have a huge loot advantage heading into our first realm of Yang. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2, and we're going to start off taking a look with, of course, OUG's Mike, the winner from game number 1 here. He's going to run into XXY. No armors under his belt, though. He's not quite ready to take this. He does set up the scale rush. He's going to come back in. The nunchucks coming through, though. Mike will pick up the white armor underneath XXY. XXY trying to come in. We'll see the F immediately invested by Mike. There we go. The hang sword putting in work onto XXY. Able to catch it twice into the nothing JJH's XXY can do. And Mike picks up first blood for the second game in a row.
Yeah, when you hit the horizontal into uppercut confirm back to back, and the Fairy already has to utilize the combo breaker of the F1 the first time around, as you said, there's absolutely nothing you can once it comes through a second time that quickly afterwards. Spider taking pressure is going to try and turn it around onto his opponent, looking to charge up with the scale rush on the hang sword. It is a very good weapon for those scale rush connections, as we are going to see the Z-Pinks utilizing the F to try and keep themselves alive. Spider now having to look to disengage. There are so many players in the area. Thankfully for him, there's a lot of buildings, and he's actually able to make his way inside one, as outside everyone else turns around on every other the newcomer. It's an absolute ballroom blitz at the moment, and every player in the area has received an invite. Tester ultimate thrown down, trying to buy, it looks like Roy shit a little bit of space to be able to turn on to some of these other players. He got hit by that ultimate, unfortunately, and is taking a lot more damage. Hasn't been able to find the downtime to get a heal. CDY managing to find a connection off the pulse onto AS to look to try and back, maybe get the read onto AS as he hops over that window frame. Spider having reset is now onto Roy Shia. Another fight still going through as Wolf CDY tries to break away from all of his pursuers. Spider going into the air, gets grapple bumped, the terrain making it a little bit harder for Roy Shia to be able to find the connection. Pose onto that ceiling. We'll be able to get the F connection onto Spider, and by a little bit of disengagement spacing, Spider not able to come in with the last couple of hits. Roy Shia finding a great armor reset, unfortunately, back against the wall, decides to commit to the blue, and Spider is able to get the read and the parry and the kill as a result, and can now look to turn back in onto the fight, given that that bubble for the Zip is back and around. He's going to force it immediately out of TE's. Jux gets to go for a little bit of a backstep in case Jux throws out the R&B on the halberds to be able to buy some spacing. Spider now throwing out the bubble, noted there are other players in the area, wants to get the armor resetting on the move so that he can just move away from the fight, allow the rest of the players in the area to just chunk through all of the Zip's extra health, and then come back in and potentially steal the kill away. Jux going incredibly low. Will be able to get the ultimate and a great armor reset. Scale rushing now off of the buildings to try and keep himself as mobile as possible. Through the door frame he goes, but Spider has been able to track exactly where he's gone down, and this fight is still going through. Rune, this area is so good for kiting a miniature Celestra, if you will, and these Z-Pings, they're oh so hard to pin down.
Yeah, absolutely. Jugs here caught off of the uppercut here by Jails AS, surprisingly enough. The whip parry coming in from Jugs, the double parry follow-up by Jails AS to immediately pick up the kill there. WBG Spider will come back in and reparry onto Jails AS, though, but AS able to break away from this fight as CDY comes in and takes the pressure off of him. He's just looking to come in, catches that fully charged right click, but not able to connect it on to anybody. CDY from Wolves here, very, very low. Panda Man himself trying to break away and let these other two Zips take this fight here, and it looks like that game one jitters is gone. These players are ready to go at it extremely early here, Moxie. It is just a mosh pit, like you said. Wolves able to catch the charge R&B there off the dual hammer. WBG Spider coming in with the dual blades onto Jails AS. AS forced to invest the ultimate here, as well as the F coming through. Now the Tessa Orb coming in there. It looks like AS able to get the interact, as well as WBG Spider, as we see CDY trying to just break away from this here. AS continuing to keep on the move with these nunchucks. The scale rush comes through from Spider, but it's not the blue. It just gets a little bit of damage through. AS, though, will get parried out here by Spider as this three-way fight continues to go. Spider now onto the nunchucks here, looking to make something happen. CDY coming in with the charge right click there. Goes for the ultimate. Spider able to get the tap dodge reaction out of the way, and now yet again JL's AS coming in, looking to change target. CDY with the parry. Spider goes low. He picks up the elimination. He is able to pick up the bloom as well. Gets that massive heal coming back in. The ultimate back online. AS not able to get the read, is on top of the orb. The F gonna keep him away as well. We just need CDY to find the spacing here to make it go through. The charge right click comes through. AS 1 HP and a Dream Wolves picks up another elimination, but unfortunately the third parties here from JJH's XXY. Wolves extremely low. He does have the ult charge back up. He's able to get the bloom yet again. He will connect onto XXY. XXY misreads the parry there. He needs to stay alive. He's going to go. CDY needs to break away from this. Unfortunately, just a little bit of tick damage picks up the elimination, and CDY goes down, and he's going to be heading back to the Soul Altar.
Poison Splash claims another. Poison Splash claims another. Oh, that is so unfortunate for CDY. He had the ultimate connection onto XXY as well. You can't dodge the Tesla ultimate when you're in the mech. CDY could have used that to disengage, but he just isn't able to find a heal in time before the Poison Splash finally dips his health bar below 0. What a long drawn fight that was. In fact, that fight has only just ended, and we see the first Realm of Yangs starting to spawn on up. And the problem is, for all of those players who were locked into that one, it's going to be really hard for them to be able to set themselves up to have the loot to try and challenge some of these Realm of Yanks. You can potentially look to Grief, as Spider is starting to maneuver over towards one of those openings. JJH's XXY looking to put himself through one of those as well. Wang Liang with that shell is definitely going to be looking to take an engagement too. Shale's probably one of the most frustrating heroes, aside from maybe a Z-Ping, to take a fight inside a Realm of Yang, because you just really have to kite out around the Total Shell block. Mike doesn't actually managed to make it through. It looks like he's beaten to the punch by the player who's just able to dip out in front of him, and it is that going to be XCG's Wang Liang, who was able to solve Salvation Podium, managed to get himself legendary dual blades to be able to play off of the back of. Now going to be taking the 1v1, going aerial, charging up, trying to find a connection, as it's going to be a drop down to come on through from JJH's XXY. The F2 going to be invested. It looks actually like we have. Is that the soldier that has a Poison Splash attached to the melee weapon? Because Wang Yang is shredding all of his health bar, is just absolutely decimated right now. Has to immediately go into the ultimate, but the poison tick is still going to be able to affect him through. He's trying to buy himself the spacing. The Total Shell was broken, so he's able to find one of those teleporters and threaten the space onto XXY. Back behind the pillar to be able to get a heal off to finally reset the health bar that was absolutely shredded by that poison tick. Hits into the golden focus to be able to avoid getting grapple counts by XXY. Now tries to close up the distance, coming on in with the F2. F1 going to be on out from the ferry. XXY without that combo breaker. Back against the wall, feeling pressured to actually throwing out the blue. The parry comes out from the shell, and he's able to find the win. But my goodness, XXG's Wang Liang was dancing on a knife's edge when that poison tick started to shred through that health at the beginning of that fight rune.
Oh my goodness, that Arachnid Soul Jade putting in so much work onto Wang Liang, but he's still able to come out on top. Maybe giving him time to heal was not the play, as Wang Liang is able to win his Realm of Yang there. But again, the Poison Soul Jade, like you said, the Arachnid just coming in and doing so much work. You and me had theorized about this minutes before the start of today, it being a potential Soul Jade that players were going to look to be picking up to deal with Sheol, and we get to see it happen right there in our
Venom Tip, Fire Arrows, Arachnid, all potential counters to that shield.
Yeah, OGG's Mike here, as we turn back to this fight, forced into the ultimate here, is looking to break away, wants to end that ultimate early, start to get as much percentage back up as he can, is trying to break away from that freezing zone, which is of course causing your rage to tick down. Roy Shishi though sees Mike, knows that he's in a vulnerable position, that he just had to burn that ultimate, and Roy is looking to give chase here. As we turn back now, we're going to see WBG Spider and GG Shaw inside the wintry zone here, not really having much of a choice. Shaw here though has picked up that campfire though, so he's not going to be losing the rage to the winter zone. WBG Spider picked up by the hangsword, going to turn around with the nunchucks though, gets thrown into JT as he takes a ton of damage coming in there from the launcher. He's going to be forced to invest that ultimate, and it's a good thing he has that campfire so he can spend that ultimate to get some heals here, because both Spider and PST looking to capitalize on GG Shaw there. Wang Liang, Spider down below. Frostive is going to be joining the fray as well. So many players coming into the winter zone over here, looking to make something happen. There's Wang Liang there on the shield. The huge grapple bump into Frostivus picks up yet another elimination. Wang Liang goes to 3, and Frostivus is out of the lobby, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, uppercut Into grapple bump, into cavalry bloom, off at the stagger setup. GG Shower, unfortunately, having to just keep himself as mobile as possible, gets grapple cancelled by another team in the area. PSD trying to come on through with that. Justina will be able to find the connection. Freeze onto Sha, following up into that Phoenix of the longsword. Will be able to find the kill, and Sha, unfortunately, not able to escape all of the aggressive play that he was forced into making by having that debuff. Wang Liang doing so much work at the moment, though, with those legendary dual blades. We talked about being able to combo off of a lot of the Sheol setup in terms of kit, and that's exactly what started to happen with the cavalry bloom. He will go down. He did still have Vermilion Bird Smite, however, so he will be able to keep himself in the lobby, as well as all of the loot. Spider slipping him through, picking up that kill incredibly quickly. This is actually the playstyle that Spider started to rise to prominence when he first began his appearances in NBPL, and funnily enough, it was on the exact hero that you're seeing right now, Z-Ping. Spider changed the tempo of solos instrumentally, and we've never sort of gone back since. He was so aggressive. He was always using the Z-Ping movement that you can find attached to all of her abilities to slide into position, steal away those kills, and constantly pressured that spacing. So if a fight went on too long, you always had to watch your back, because Spider would soon show up, get the kill, and then slip away as T-Stock sends a little bit too still there. Spider swaps to the blue bow, lands the connection onto T-Stock. No one in the area follows up, but it's definitely a warning shot to say, hey buddy, that's not something you want to do up against these players in the lobby, as we can have a look and see exactly how this Realm of Yang hand on out. PST and Alliance's Frostivus. PST there with the Phoenix Blast on that long shot, finding the connection onto Frostivus. Thankfully there was no Hector to follow it up into, as Frostivus using the zoning on that. V3 will be able to get a couple of return shots onto PST, but unfortunately does get parried and has to invest the combo breaker to be able to break away from it, and as a result it's going to be on cooldown for the longsword, into grapple bump, into Phoenix. That is just something that we're starting to see become more and more common. These players, if they're forced into using those combo breaks early, everyone else just looks for the grapple bump extension yet again, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and you've got to love, right? We're seeing exactly what we talked about a lot last season, where they're just investing the singular grapple bump. There's no reason to continue to do that multiple juggle off of it, right? You need to optimize the speed of damage versus just continuing to try to carry a loop combo there. And we see that a lot, right? We see Mike doing it in game one, where he'll go off one and that's it. They don't need to do multiples. They're just looking to maximize damage to time, as we get yet another Realm of Yang here with OUG's Mike, this time going head-to-head with a BBE's Roy Shishi. Roy Shishi on the other side there with the pistol, looking for that potential opportunity. Will pick up the repair there, as well as with the spear. This is very interesting. You don't see a lot of spears in solos anymore, but it is a favored weapon of Roy Shishi. The F already coming in and invested. We're going to see the V3 pillar come down onto Roy Shishi as Mike finds not one but two right clicks there. Roy Shishi unfortunately going to miss the ultimate there, as Mike is able to get away from it, and Mike just completely dominates this Realm of Yang.
I mean, there's a reason we don't see a lot of spare in solo run, and it's a very slow weapon, and ensures you have two teammates to be able to frame a fight so that they get locked into Light Stagger and they can't afford the Dragon Slayers into Nezhaz, and it just cleaves through everybody on the field. In a 1v1 location, however, especially if you're not getting to weapon swap, it does definitely struggle in terms of that matchup. Mike, blue armor as well, was able to win the fight because it was just so one-sided. There's Spider now going head-to-head against Wolves. CDY Z-Ping Bubble's going to be invested. He's trying to move away from where that little bit of snowstorm is starting to peek on through. Spider getting parried, now has to worry about the third party coming on out, as Mike with the legendary nunchucks is going to be able to just keep the Z-Ping pressured, not allowing Spider to be able to recover. However, Mike is not allowed the kill. CDY sees that the Ferrier has come into the interruption, understands that, okay, he has to back on off so that when the kill does come out, Mike doesn't immediately turn on him, swaps to the pistol and poaches it out right underneath Mike's nose. And because he went for that distance play, we do actually see that Mike was not able to figure out where exactly CDY ran off to, and CDY puts himself directly into the zone, understanding that Z-Ping does not actually have Mystic Might to be able to follow him with, because I believe Mike actually opted in to take the White Tigers.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to see, right? CDY here taking a page out of Mike's book, right? We saw game one and it was Mike who was poaching those kills. It's something that he's very well known for. And what is CDY? He sees the opportunity to do the same to Mike. And like you said, heads in the zone and knowing that the Mystic Might is not up. He's not going to be able to chase. And like you said, the White Tiger buff on to Mike. And this is interesting, right? We talked about the potential of this buff coming through in solos and being played. And again, when you don't have a team to be able to heal, you're playing somebody like Faria here, it kind of makes sense a little bit because you kind of have a healer in the back pocket in solos. So we're going to see that come through here for Mike. Mike going into Wang Liang here, the only Sheol in the lobby. Wang able to get a couple of hits here with the pulse sword. The follow-up coming in yet again, goes for the ultimate there, will get the block off there on to Mike. Mike looking to create an opportunity there. We will see the pillar come down and Wang Liang needing to change how he's playing this game up because Mike trying to play around that pillar. Wang not able to find an entrance back into this fight again. Mike with the uppercut. Oh my goodness, Wang Liang coming in. We will see the F invested from Mike though to take back control of the fight as Wang Liang looks to go for a pot here, but Mike gonna keep the pressure up with the pistol. Wang gets the shot off there. Unfortunately, Mike able to continue to keep the pressure up, so he just keeps the fight in the same place it was, and Wang Liang burns the pot for nothing. Mike continuing to keep the pressure up, walks into the fan as we see Wang Liang change up tactics here, doesn't want to continue to use that pole sword, throws the RMB out, is able to come back, catches Mike again. Mike gonna invest the F yet again. Unfortunately, Wang Liang just delaying the inevitable as OUG Mike sends him home out of the lobby at 5 eliminations here in game number 2.
And Mike with the White Tigers was actually able to keep that fight going. Every single time that Wang Liang tried to move away, it was because he needed to take that little bit of lull downtime to be able to get a pot off. Mike has all of the healing with the White Tigers, and when your health bar actually reaches its cap, it just gets converted into armor healing. So it's really interesting to see that he decides to pick it up there, and as well as the fact that he's playing into a Z-Ping lobby, right? We know that Z-Ping is going to instantly be banned out for everyone who's not in Pool A. So being able to actually take that and challenge the Zip in terms of sustain for these long drawn-out fights is definitely going to be interesting to see whether or not he continues to do that throughout the rest of the day, or if this is only I'm on Holler Off and I need to be able to actually take this to be able to challenge the Z-Ping. PST being really mean at the moment and just playing to keep both TE's Jux and Roy Shisha in the zone for as long as possible with that Phoenix. The Justina trying to catch the freeze as well onto Jux. He has the V1 variation, so he has to find the freezes onto these players individually as opposed to waiting for them to group up on top of each other. Will be able to find one kill, has to immediately divert backwards. However, disengaging to be able to break away from the corruption, take damage so that he doesn't go down. Smart decision making coming through from him as well, considering the fact that the ultimate has just burned out and the Justina is going to be in that vulnerable state while you wait for it to come back through. Ooh, hello, that's fire tick. Attached to that pole sword. XXY are going to have to be incredibly careful that he doesn't go down to that heal cut reduction coming on through, as well as taking all of that damage while he's still moving. Pillar has been dropped as well. We're going to see the Hung Sword coming on out from XXY. Mike able to come in with the vertical on the pole sword, forcing XXY into burning out the F1. As yet again, Mike is able to force these players into investing that combo breaker and then coming in with the immediate punishment. His understanding of tempo in these 1v1s is absolutely second to none, and he might even be able to get a free Morris blessing off of that. He eats a ballista shot and takes the fire tick damage, but he just converted into legendary armor and rune. That's a trade you make every day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Mike a little low on health pots here, but look, he's just going to run back to the box, immediately pick some more back up, does not care. The ballista shot comes through, and like you said, that's a trade you make every single time. Mike, more than happy to do that. We do have the Bane coming in, griefing this area just a little bit. Roy Shishi here was able to get themselves a Soul Bloom, get back into it. We're going to see the Blistering Edge coming in from Mike, looking to catch some damage.
Blistering with Arachnid.
Yet again, yeah, the double tick damage coming in here here onto Roy is absolutely huge. He will catch the ultimate though. Mike wants to play forward to try to potentially get away from it, but he's gonna pillar to knock them away. As the tick comes through, the F is invested, and Roy, not much they can do as bow shots ring in from the side as well. Mike wants to make sure he can secure this elimination, but also wants to heal up here. Is gonna let Roy Shishi just back away here while he takes the reset, and then we'll probably look to re-engage. There we go. We see Mike coming around the tower looking for where Roy went, but it's gonna be PST who slides in and is able to pick up the elimination as we go to 3 players left alive in this lobby with 7 minutes left to go, Moxie.
And Mike can now look to try and take this engagement onto PST. Swaps over to the pistol. PST charging up that Phoenix. Mike able to come in with some nice opening hits on the nunchuck and immediately activate the arachnid. And that is the armor gone from PST. The free shell gone from PST. Ballista shot does come through, interrupting the 1v1. And PST is going to go down. CDY steals another kill from Mike. And oh my goodness, Mike is not going to be happy. He's on 5. CDY is on 4. It's a 1v1. CDY has to know that he's up against Blistering and Arachnid. However, he does have the resources. He's on the Tessa. Will he be able to create the spacing in a 1v1? Or is Mike going to be able to dodge around the Tessa utility? That becomes so much easier to get a read on. CDY takes the pressure off the Arachnid, tries to create the spacing artificially with a focus strike. Mike reads it out and gets the parry, drops the pillar to stop CDY. Get a full reset moment. Mike with the grapple will go in to the Tessa ultimate, and as a result, CDY is actually going to go for the grapple bump extension. He needs to finish the fight right now. Mike is incredibly low. The enchantment wears off. Mike with the F1 is able to make his way back to the pillar. Bane's breath is going to come into the absolute worst possible spacing, and the Ferrier has to use the boosters to be able to take a reset. Both of these players were incredibly low. Mike was only a couple of picks away from actually going down. He's able to make it back into the pillar because he still had the F1. We're going to see the full reset. CDY now has a much better read of the situation that he is in. He's going to have the ultimate back far faster than Mike, but he has to be so careful about how he takes this engagement, understanding that Mike, in terms of tempo, is going to be at an advantage when those 2 debuffs start to quite literally burn his health down. Oh, he swaps it off. He takes off the Arachnid to pick up a different sword entirely. He's got Phoenix now that he picked up from PST's body. He took the downtime to change up his loadout entirely. Mike with the parry is able to catch on to CDY. The uppercut is going to force CDY into just trying to backstep as much as possible. CDY trying to push Mike into the Bane's Trap. Won't be able to. Mike dodging around the Tessa ultimate. Going to come back in with that longsword, with the parry, fretting to see whether or not CDY looks to try and challenge Mike, taking so much from that light stagger. But unfortunately, CDY not able to follow through. Mike with the jump parry, CDY not playing into it. Mike with the Phoenix into Hepta, doesn't get the Phoenix connection, but does manage to find the Hepta lockdown. CDY now, unfortunately, he's the full hit of the next Phoenix. Mike able to tap dodge around the next throw out of the Tessa frame, and we're going to see Mike bringing CDY so incredibly low that he swaps to the pistol to try and hunt down this Tessa and finally get the kill. Chases CDY into the zone corruption, puts him onto a cliff and finds the back-to-back MVP